Hello guys, welcome back. Welcome back to Math with Gustavus. In this lesson, we'll be dividing mixed numbers. There are 5 simple steps that I'm recommending when dividing mixed numbers. Step 1, you convert all the mixed numbers to improper fractions. Step 2, you carry out the steps that are done when dividing fractions. That is, you keep the first fraction as is, you change the division sign to multiplication, and lastly, you flip or reciprocate the second fraction. Now step 3, you multiply your numerators. Step 4, you multiply your denominators, and then step 5, you simplify the fraction if needed or necessary. However, in some case, I might do step 5 as step 3, and then step 3 will be step 4, and then step 4 will now become step 5. But I'll tell you when I switch around the methods. All right, let's jump into the first question. All right, so the first one is 1.5 divided by what? 3 1/8. So the first step is to convert them to improper fractions. So let's do that. So it's 2 times 1, which is 2, plus 1 is 3. So it's 3 over 2 divided by, and then you convert this one as well. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 1, which is 25 over 8. So you have carried out the first step, which is to convert them to improper fraction. The second step is to carry out the steps that are done when dividing. Remember now, we write back the first fraction as is, which is 3 over 2. Afterwards, we change our division sign to multiplication, and then we reciprocate the second fraction. That will now become 8 over 25. Remember that when you reciprocate, the denominator becomes the numerator and the numerator becomes the denominator. All right, next up guys, the next step is to multiply our numerator. So it's 3 times 8, that will give us 24. And then it's 2 times 25, that will give us 50. After you have done that, the last step now is to what? Simplify if necessary. If you look closely, we have what? 24 over 50. And 24 over 50 can be simplified by first identifying the highest common factor, which in this case would be, what did you say? Good job, would be 2, right? So you're going to divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2. So that would be 2 into 24, that goes what? 12 times, and 2 into 50, that goes 25. So the answer will be 12 over 25. So let me highlight that one for you. So the first one is 12 over 25. How did you find that, guys? I hope you found that one to be interesting. All right, cool. Let's now turn our attention to number 2. Number 2, again, we're going to carry out the steps. So the first step is to convert the mixed numbers to improper fraction. So it's 5 times 5, 25. 25 plus 3, that will be 28 over 5. And then we write back our division sign. Then we convert this one as well. So there's 3 times 2, 6 and 1. 7 over 3. Some person might be asking, why didn't change this to multiplication or reciprocate there? Could have done that, but when you're just starting out, I'm just recommending that you go through all the steps. All right, when you become more advanced, then you can skip some steps. All right, so after you have done that, get to the point where you convert it to a multiplication problem. That is what we do when we divide fractions, right? So we write back the first fraction as is. So it's 28 over 5. Afterwards, we convert the division to multiplication. Then we reciprocate the second fraction, right? That will become 3 over 7. All right. After we have done that, we could do what? Multiply our numerators, put it down, then multiply our denominators, put it down, then simplify. But for this question in particular, I'm going to do step 5 first, which is to simplify. So when you simplify, you look at the numerators and denominators, compare them to see if you can reduce them. So let's look at this numerator and denominator. What's the highest common factor of 28 and 5? The highest common factor of 28 and 5 is just 1. So that can't be simplified. Now you do the same for the numerator and denominator here. We have 3 and 7. The highest common factor of 3 and 7 is just 1. So it can't be simplified. Now check your diagonals, because this is a numerator, this is a denominator compared. And if you look closely, you notice that there is a common factor other than 1 for what? 28 and 7. And that will be 7, right? So the highest common factor of 7 and 28 would be 7 itself. So let's divide by 7. So you can say divide 7 to 7. That will give you 1. And then you divide 28 by 7. And then that will give you 4. Alright, then you check the next diagonal, 3 and 5. The highest common factor there is just 1. So it can't be simplified. So when you have done the fifth one, you go back to the third one now, which is to multiply the numerator. So it's going to be 4 that is left times 3. That will give you 12. And then for the denominator is 5 times 1 that is left, which will give you 5. Alright, which is an improper fraction. Remember now that improper fractions can be converted to what? To mixed numbers. So let's divide. So 5 into 12, that goes 2 times, and then that will leave us with a remainder of 2, and then you put back the denominator of 5. So our final answer here can be expressed as 5 over 12 or as 2 and 2/5. Alright, let's look at the third question now. Alright, I hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. What you can do here is to pause the video and attempt the question before I do. If not, you can just let it roll. Alright, so let's jump right into number 3. So the first step is to convert these mixed numbers to improper fraction. So let's do that. So 8 times 3, that's 24. Plus 1, that gives us what? 25 over 8. Then we put back our division. Then we convert here as well. 8 times 2, that's 16. Plus 3, that's what? 19 over 8. That's the first step, right? Convert to improper fractions. Up next, you carry out the steps that are done when dividing. If you have not watched my video on division and fractions, ensure that you do after this lesson. Up next, you keep the first fraction as is. So you'll write back what? 25 over 8. Then you change your division to what? Multiplication. Then you reciprocate or flip the second fraction. That will now become 8 over what? 19. Again, I would not recommend doing step 3 at this point, which is to multiply 25 times 8. Alright, so you assess, analyze to see if you can cancel the numerator with denominator there, and then you check along the diagonals. So if you look closely, you notice that we have 8 and 8. When you see that, your alarm bells should go off to see that yes, I can cancel this before I multiply. So let's do that. Alright, so if I look at this diagonal, you see that we have what? 8 and 8, right? So the highest common factor of 8 and 8 would be 8 itself. So you divide 8 into 8, that goes what? 1 time. And then 8 into 8, that goes what? 1 time as well. Check the next diagonal. We have what? 25 and 19. The highest common factor of 25 and 19 is just what? 1. Hence it can't be simplified any further. And as such, we need to multiply our numerators, which is to carry out step 3 now. So it's going to be 25 times 1, which gives us 25. And then 1 times 19, that gives us 19. Again, we have a improper fraction right here. And again, improper fractions can be converted back to mixed numbers. So let's do that. So let's divide 19 into 25. That goes 1 time. And then that will leave us with a remainder of 6. And then we put back our denominator of 19. Now guys, it's number 4. But number 4 is for you, because you're special and I like you being here. So this is the time that you express to me that you know and appreciate what I've been doing so far. So take your pencils out, your papers out, and complete this question. When you're finished, you can share it with a friend or two, invite them over to the channel, and then you post your answers in the comment section. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Invite over everybody to this channel, Math with Gustavus. Thank you very much for viewing, and see you again soon. Bye bye guys.